In today's video, we're going to perfect your Tachums. Stay tuned.
Well, hello everybody, I'm Willis Bagpiper, and on this channel I make videos to make you a stronger and more confident piper. I also teach Skype and online lessons if you want more personalized instruction, but more on that later. The Tachum. This could be a tricky bit of finger work right here, and today we have a bunch of exercises right here that will help get yours under control.
In the description below, there's a link to the PDF document I have here, so go ahead, print that out, put it on a tablet, have it in front of you so you can follow along.
So what is a Tachum? A Tachum is any time you're going from a bottom hand note, C, B, or A, to an even lower bottom hand note, so C to B, C to A, C to low G, B to A, B to low G, or even A to low G. You're starting with a G grace note on the note and using a D grace note to go to the lower note, with the rhythm being specifically a short note to a long note. But getting that timing right, clean, accurate, the D grace note, the right size, all of it can be rather tricky for pipers of all levels. So I've devised some exercises right here that will hopefully get yours perfected and under control.
It's quite windy outside, so if you hear some background noise, it is what it is. I can't control the wind.
On this exercise sheet, I have every possible version of the Tachum that can be played, starting with C to A on line 1, B to low G on line 2, C to B on line 3, A to low G on line 4, A to low G on line 5, and then finally B to low A on line 6. And we're going to do this in several different rhythms. The first way we're going to do it is we're going to do it with long, even notes to make sure that we can get the grace notes clean and accurate and that there's no crossing noises, runs, or other bits of noise that we don't want to hear. And then maybe counterintuitively, in bar 2 of each line, we're going to do this with the reversed rhythm. So the first note's actually going to be long to a short note. I find that being able to control our rhythms accurately, it goes a long way to perfecting the overall bit of technique here. So if you can play a Tachum, you're probably going to be able to play a Tachum over here. And then in bar 3, we're going to go to something starting to resemble the Tachum. It's a short note to a long note, but this time it's going to be half of a beat to a beat and a half. And then finally, in bar 4, we're going to play the Tachums as they generally occur in the wild. Tachum, 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 Tachum. Let's not waste any more time and dive in. Before we turn this metronome on, we're going to sort out the fingering of bar 1 for each of these first, then turn this on and, well, play through it. So we're going to start with a G grace note on C, so our hand is in a C position. We're going to, as soon as we start blowing, lower that G grace note, and then we're going to lift both fingers on the bottom to head down to a low A. But you don't want this D grace note too big. As soon as that D has come off, it's basically coming down. So we don't want to have a big motion here. We want a nice, small, crisp motion on that D. So both up, 3 down to low A. When we're heading back up, it's going to be the top pointer finger, bottom, middle, and ring finger coming up, and then boom, grace note closes, and the pinky closes on bottom to head back to that C to start it over again. In bar 2, again, we're going to do a long note to a short note. This will be same fingering, same note changes, just the rhythm changes. In bar 3, we're going to go from an eighth note to a dotted quarter note, the opposite rhythm, what we just did. And then in bar 4, we're going to speed it up. Don't worry about bar 4 until you can do bars 1, 2, and 3 cleanly and accurately. When that D grace note is too big, you don't really get the effect of a tack on the C. You hear more of a tonal D, and it doesn't deliver the feeling and the notes even of the Tachum. So keep that D grace note nice and small. That's what this exercise is really going to try to get you to perfect. I have the metronome set at 72 here, but pick a speed that works for you in your world. And let's have a go. Moving on to line 2. Now we're going to be heading down to a B. So G grace note on B, hand in a B position, lower that G grace note as soon as you start blowing. Then here to head with a D grace note 2, low G, we're going to leave our middle finger down. The conservation of finger energy principle at work here, folks. If you don't have to move a finger, you're not going to move a finger. So B, D grace note up, everything down, just like on that C though. Don't get that D grace note too high in the air. We want nice, small, and crisp, everything landing together smartly. And not. You want that grace note small. Work on controlling the height. I'm not pinching it out because my hand's tight. I'm just not lifting my finger very high. And then just to discuss it, low G with a G grace note to a B, we're going to lift the top pointer finger for the G grace note, the bottom ring and pinky to head to the B. And as soon as that G grace note's up, lowering it back down so we can sound that B. And then you're ready to just go back around and start the exercise again. I'm just going to go ahead, turn this metronome on, and have a go at line 2. There's the old joke, you don't want to tick them. So even on those fast ones, it's not. You don't want to try to make the first note too short. You definitely want to hear the dit-dum, tack-gum kind of sound.
If you're enjoying this content, please think about giving the video a like, subscribing to the channel, and leaving comments below with any questions you might have.
Line 3. Okay, now we're going back up to a C with the G grace note like we started in line 1. But here we're only heading down to a B. So again, we're going to have to lift both of these. We're going to lift the pointer for the grace note and the bottom pinky because it's not down for a B. But then, boom, lowering just the 2 to head to that B. And then again to head back up to a C. Top pointer, bottom ring finger up. And then the top pointer and pinky down to head back to the C. And it should sound something like this for bar 1. So just like in the other ones, bar 1, we're going to have the notes in an even rhythm. Then we're going to reverse in bar 2, where we have the first note actually long, second note short. Bar 3, we're going to have the first note shorter, second note longer, and then finally the tachums as they occur. Line 4. Now we're heading down to low A. So this time, fingers in a low A position, G grace note off. As soon as you start blowing, lower that G grace note. And then here we're doing a D grace note to low G. So the pointer finger's going to come up and then boom, both of them down, pointer and pinky to take you back to low G. Then from low G, we're going to head back up to the A to start this all over again. Pinky and top pointer finger up again for the grace note, for the A. This comes right back down and you're ready to start the cycle again. Let's give this a try. Just 2 lines to go. All right, so we're heading in on a C again, now heading down all the way to low G. So as with the other Cs, we're going to start with the G grace note up, hands in a C position, lower the grace note for the C. But here, because we're going to low G, we are going to lift the pointer finger, but we're not lifting our pinky. There's no need to. It's going to be down for the G. So pointer finger up, everything down, taking us back to low G. Again, you want a crisp, small D grace note movement as you head down. And then to head from low G back up to C, we're going to lift the top pointer and the bottom, middle, and ring all at the same time. Boom, pointer finger down, and you're ready to start the cycle again. Let's give this line a try. And then finally, the bottom line here, we have B to A. So we'll be in a B position with the G grace note up, lowering that G grace note. Then to head down with a D grace note to A, we'll lift that bottom pointer finger, leaving the middle finger down, and then bringing the pointer and ring finger down to complete an A. Nice small motion, not. Work at controlling the height of that D grace note. Let's try this bottom line. Well, there you go, everybody. Some exercises to perfect your Tachums, a very common embellishment in, well, pipe tunes of all sorts, so it's a good one to get under control, and, well, they're just fun to play. Thank you so much, everybody. If you enjoyed this video, check this one out right here about D grace notes, or this video down here about G grace notes. I also have a line of Command Your Bagpipe merchandise, link in the description below. If you wanted to help support the channel, you could head over to my Patreon, and a special shout out to my #1 supporter, Miss Carrie Tresek, and more information about bagpipe lessons at www.commandyourbagpipe.com. Cheers, everybody.